Alright, so I got a requested video here to talk about something Bob Holly said. He did this really long interview. I didn't read it all, I just read the part that, I read some of it. I read the part about how he said when Viscera died he should have got like a better tribute. One that, like the one that Warrior got where everybody was on the stage and they did the 10 bells or whatever. He said Viscera didn't even get a mention except on SmackDown. So, and I agree with him. When somebody in WWE dies, the amount of like the quality of the tribute he gets is usually dependent on how big he was in the company. Like Ultimate Warrior was a big star back in the day, so he's gonna get a really big tribute. But somebody like Viscera, he was there for a while. He was there, I think, as Mabel, as Big Daddy V. He was there for quite a while. But he was never, like a John Cena or a Daniel Bryan or a CM Punk or a big name. But he doesn't get a tribute just because he wasn't big in the company. I think whenever, somebody who's been in the company for a while is given, and he talked about they've sacrificed their bodies and shit, and yeah, they have. So I think whenever somebody's been in there for a while in the company, WWE should give them a big tribute. Because part of the reason why Viscera died so young, and why Ultimate Warrior died so young, are because they were in the fucking company to begin with. If they weren't wrestling, Viscera probably would have lived past his 40s. Or I think he was like 40, mid 40s or something. And Ultimate Warrior probably would have lived past 54. What was he, 54 or 55? They probably would have lived longer than that. So WWE should be, very thankful that these two people, and everybody in general, gives their bodies to wrestle, because most wrestlers don't even live, a full life. Like a normal person, not a normal, like a regular, the life expectancy in America is like 80s, I think. It's like late 70s or 80s. Wrestlers very rarely make it to that. So WWE should be very thankful for what the wrestlers do. And when Viscera died, there was nothing. There was no mention, I don't even think, except Bob Holly said there was on SmackDown, which I don't even watch. So I didn't even see anything on there, And I think they did something. They did a good thing for Mae Young, nice tribute there. But again, like if they're not in the company, or if they're not big in the company, then they don't get a big tribute. I guarantee you, if Ultimate Warrior wasn't there for the Hall of Fame and shit, they wouldn't have gotten that big tribute or whatever. They probably would have played a little bit of a video, or maybe video package, or put his picture on the fucking um, on Raw and so in memory of Ultimate Warrior. But they would never have done all this shit on the network and played his best matches. Then this whole huge tribute week to Warrior. They would have never done that. I don't think. If he wasn't in the Hall of Fame, and if he wasn't inducted, they wouldn't. At least if he wasn't inducted this year, they would have never have done that. I don't think. If they would have, inducted him in the future, after he died, they wouldn't have like did this though, because the only reason they played this, they did this huge tribute week and shit, is because he was in the memory of our mind. Oh, he just got debuted. We he's a big thing now. This is a big news story. He just got into the Hall of Fame, and then he just died. So, that was big news there, because he was just at the Hall of Fame. So that's why I think he got this huge tribute week and shit, and all these videos on the network of him. Like if he wouldn't have been inducted, I don't even think this would have happened. So I think no matter how big the superstar is, in the company, no matter how many championships he won, no matter how many titles he won, WWE should pay equal tribute to each one of their superstars who's been in the company, and even if they've only been in it for a short time, come on, just still pay the tribute. They've given probably most of these people who've been in WWE have given their lives, to strive at the goal of being a WWE superstar. So when one of these people dies, put a tribute on. Take 5-10 minutes out of Raw. Oh yeah, I know that's a big thing. You got to take 5 or 10 minutes out of that 3-hour debacle of a show, Raw. Yeah, just do it. It's a classy thing to do, and it makes them look low class to me when they do like this huge ass tribute to Warrior, and then when Viscera dies, they do nothing. I mean, it looks low class. Um, so yeah, those are basically my thoughts on there. If you want to go read the article, um, try to post it in the description if you want. Um, but yeah, basically all he said was Viscera should gotten a Warrior-like tribute, just like Warrior's getting, and I agree. You know, I fully agree on that. That's one thing I agree on. Um, so hopefully, WWE does more of these tributes because again, these people give their lives for wrestling. I mean, they're away from their families. What they say, 300 days a year. I'm sure it's more now. Because they got so many more shows now, like main event, and they just added a lot of shit. With the app and the network, there's so much more now than there was like even a couple years ago. I mean, look at you had Raw and SmackDown in the live events like a couple years ago. Now you got the network, you got the apps, not you got the network and the WWE app. You got you got still live events, still Raw and SmackDown. You got main event, you got NXT, you got just a bunch of other shit. And I'm sure there are more than 300 days a year now, because I mean, there's so much more shit in WWE than there was like a couple years ago. So I mean, these WWE should be very thankful for these wrestlers that give their lives, and it's just this is also bullshit too. How they label them as independent contractors. I mean, that's just the biggest load of bullshit I've ever seen. I see Jesse Ventura trying to, he's really protesting this. And it's just retarded how they can label them as independent contractors, which means they get no health care, no benefits. They tell you where to wrestle, they tell you when you can wrestle. So I don't know how the fuck they're independent contractors. It's retardation. And that's, Vince McMahon. I don't think WWE's like thankful to their wrestlers who give their bodies and their lives for this company and for entertainment. I mean, I'm thankful, for all these wrestlers that go out there, put their bodies on the line, and it doesn't seem Vince McMahon is because he doesn't give them jack shit. I think Roddy Piper even said they can afford to give $90 million to Linda McMahon's Senate run, but they can't afford to give benefits and health care to us. I mean, it's retarded. I mean, now you got wrestlers, like I see, what's Jake the Snake and all these wrestlers. I think it was Jake the Snake Roberts, raising money to get surgery. Why doesn't fucking WWE pay for it? I mean, yeah, just let your wrestlers just rot, until they die. I mean, in Jake the Snake now, he had the drug problem, and thank God for DDP. What a generous guy taking, these people in. Why doesn't WWE help these guys? I mean, they've been through shit in WWE. I mean, with all the injuries. I'm sure they've gotten a lot of injuries. And so why doesn't WWE help them? Oh, we're just going to use them and then we're going to just throw them away and let them rot. I mean, it's just retarded. They should give them health care, give them benefits, help them out after they retire from wrestling. But they don't do that. All they care about is fucking themselves. And it's retarded, Yeah, Scott Hall, Jake the Snake giving their bodies for the fucking WWE and wrestling in general. And WWE doesn't do jack shit to help them out. It's just retarded. WWE should be more thankful for their wrestlers and what they've done for the company. Give them health care and, just support them after their wrestling career is over and help them out. So shit like this doesn't happen. So Jake the Snake doesn't, so people don't get on drugs, get addicted to drugs. So people don't, have to raise money for injury. I mean, really, they got to go out and ask people like me for money for their surgeries. Why? Where the fuck is WWE? What's Vince McMahon? Can't pay a couple $1,000s for somebody to get a surgery when he's like a billionaire. It's just Vince McMahon. A fucking retard sometimes. I don't understand that guy. I mean, I've tried to understand him, but I just fucking can't. I mean, you can't pay a couple $1,000s to pay for somebody's surgery. I mean, WWE just has to be more thankful for their superstars. So there's my thoughts on that. So there you go, people.